What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Filip Latocha, and today it's Tokyo Marathon Training Week 1. 15 weeks until race day, and we're going to kind of go over some of the training plan items as we see them right now and just kind of discuss how that's going. And for you, the viewer, if you want to follow a similar training plan, I'm going to try to upload a video of this style every week at the beginning of the week so you have an idea of what you can do in addition to your existing training plan. So before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're subscribed, watching content. Thanks so much, love you guys a lot. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Strava for all sorts of updates. And I guess at the time of this filming, you can also follow me on Training Peaks. And yeah, you just look up my name and you should be able to find me, to my understanding. So without further ado, let's begin with this. So as already mentioned, which is not written here at the moment, but we are 15 weeks until the Tokyo Marathon. So this is really happening. Basically, I am at this point in time almost out of the clear of my runner's knee kind of, situation, but we're almost there. So we're almost out of the clear there, and the training plan has already begun for this particular 15-week training block, which was labeled a sub 245 marathon training plan. So for those who kind of know me and know what my PRs and things like that are off the book, you already know I've ran a 3-hour 10-minute as like my best marathon of all time in 2019. My latest marathon was in 2022, where I ran a 3-hour 13 minutes, and I was supposed to run the Chicago Marathon this year, but due to prolonged sickness and just low morale from what I deemed was poor training across the entire season, I opted out of running that marathon. And since then, I've actually opted out of running, I think, at least 2 or 3 other races in between. Once for being sick, and the other time for actually getting the runner's knee injury and deciding, okay, this is a bad idea, let's not do this. So this is the comeback kid, bounce back kind of scenario, I suppose. And we begin this training program hard. At least we try to, because this is also a taper week for the turkey trot season, because this is Thanksgiving week, and this Thursday, this is Monday at the time that I'm filming this, Monday the 20th of November, and when this is going to come up, I think it's going to be like on Wednesday or something, we'll see, depends how I feel about it. And then on the 23rd, the Thursday, it is a 10K race for me, which I am like pretty set on doing regardless of my fitness, because I know it's not a good fitness. I'm not in a good spot overall to be like racing at 100% or 98% effort. I'm probably going to race at like 60 to 70%. So I'm not expecting anything crazy, but there is race rust that I need to shake off. So I don't know if you guys can see this from the top of the board. I might like move this back a little bit and see if that kind of shows up. If it doesn't, at least I'll talk you guys through what is kind of going on here. So today, this is day 1. The idea here is to do a 7-mile hill repeats type of workout. So that's kind of the gist of it. There's a few intervals to do something like, 4 by 90 seconds. We got like 4 by 60, 4 by 30 seconds. That's just kind of the gist here, is to kind of get the legs rolling with some hill repeats. And that would be for about an hour for about 7 miles, according to my Training Peaks training plan. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, is supposed to be a 6-mile easy run. So if you're kind of feeling ambitious, I guess you just round it up to a 10K. And easy mile pace here is to do 6 miles in 48 minutes, which, if I'm not mistaken, is about 8 minutes per mile as an easy run. But the training notes here do suggest you don't have to run 8 minutes per mile. You can slow it down a lot more to like 8:30, 9:30, whatever's like comfortable for you, right? Just get time on feet. That's the entire purpose, I think, of this first week, is time on feet. Because there's just no way that if you're going from 0 to trying to run a 245 sub plan, that you're going to be able to do some of these workouts. So that's the 6-mile week. And then, of course, Wednesday we have an 8-mile run plus some strides at the end. So just 8 miles, just kind of do whatever, get it kind of done. Thursday, that's the 10-mile progression run on this calendar, but however, that's going to conflict with the race. So here's something I have in mind. We'll kind of see how this plays out as it goes. But Fridays are going to be rest days on this training block. And this is where things are kind of considered unpopular. I don't believe in like full-blown rest days. I do believe in rest days where your distance and your pace is dramatically reduced, or you're doing some kind of cross training, whether it's like a bike, a swim. Weightlifting I don't really count because I think that's just part of your regular plan. So like if your rest day is lifting and a bike, that's like still a pretty decent rest day in my opinion. Nevertheless, you're doing something other than doing like a full-blown running workout. So you could still run like 2 or 3 miles that day, but you're not running them in a way where you're feeling ambitious to make it, I guess, affect your overall fitness. I guess that's the way I like to word it. And I'm sure people will be like, no, Phil, you're not supposed to run at all. You're supposed to just stop, okay? And like, I'm sure that's probably correct too. It's just, that's how I operate. I like to run every single day. Whatever, okay? Kill me for it. Saturday, this is where things get nuts. It's a 16-mile long run, but the training plan thinks I can do that in 2 hours. So again, all things considered, with the bad long run work I've had last season for the Chicago Marathon, runner's knee injury stuff, and just kind of working back into putting on more distance, I might not do 16 miles, but I will still try to do a long run on that Saturday. The important thing I think here in principle is time on feet. So could I run for 2 hours? That's going to be kind of like the question we ask. Will the 2-hour run be, I don't know, not maybe 16 miles. Let's say it's 14 or 13. Let's say I'm running a half marathon and I like genuinely try to run it at 2 hours, which would be bonkers slow. I think that's like 9 to 9:30 pace even, maybe even like less than that. But point there is, I don't know if it's going to be 16 miles. If it is, cool. If it's not, no worries. The other thing that's up in the air is depending on how Thursday goes. The group that I traditionally run turkey trots with might want to run on that Saturday. So I might end up doing a 5K or 10K that Saturday as well. So it might be another race. We'll see. Just depends on the knee feels. That's like the most important thing overall here. And then Sunday we end with the 6-mile easy run. So that's going to be kind of week 1 of the Tokyo Marathon training plan. So if you're interested in kind of training in this fashion, this is kind of week 1 of how things will go. So you can kind of just steal that and use it as you will. But yeah, that's kind of the game plan so far. Again, the points here worth noting for myself on this block is that following this to a T is not going to be possible this first week just because of the turkey trot season and coming back from injury. Those are just two hard to work around factors at this point, right? Because you don't want to make an existing injury or an injury you're just about to recover from even worse because you try to go square into the training plan without any real affirmation from your own performance that that's what you should be doing, right? So having this 16-mile long run in the training plan kind of runs under the assumption that you're already putting in like 40 to 50 miles of running a week. And I can't say that I've put in that much recently just because of the runner's knee stuff. I have put in 35 miles last week, and like the progression is building. I'm going about 15 to 20% more miles every single week. So that's a good thing, right? Like we're building there. It's just the first few weeks of this training session or this training block is going to be slow. It's going to take some time to catch up into the catching up. So I don't expect it to take too long, but maybe the first 2 to 3 weeks are not going to be perfect per the training plan, but we'll get there. It's just going to take some time, and I know how my body reacts to sudden load of mileage. Like the first things that are going to go is my fibula in like my right ankle, I guess you can say. It's like I'll feel the strain in that area immediately first if I'm pushing too hard, and then from there it can be anything, right? Like I don't really experience shin splints anymore. I think my bone density is strong enough in the shins where it will like really take some dumb amount of distance for me to push into that area. The knee might feel something. The muscles will feel fatigue, obviously, but like that's kind of an expected piece. But yeah, that's kind of the start of the Tokyo Marathon training stuff. I guess at this time, we're at about 100 plus miles in the Vaporfly Next Percent 2, which is going to be my desired shoe of choice for the Tokyo Marathon. Whether it's this exact pair or a different pair I order in the near future, I am planning on 100% running in this shoe or the Alpha Fly Next Percent 3 if it becomes available in the market, and if that shoe turns out pretty nice. The only other oddball shoe to run here would be like a Hoka carbon plate shoe. Like I heard a lot about the Rocket X2, which makes it sound like a really decent race day shoe, so we'll kind of see. I'm real particular about race day shoes nowadays, especially. I know some people just don't care and they just want to have a good time, but I know like with Nike creating like the Vaporfly Next Percent 3, that shoe is just an absolute toilet. Like I don't want to run or race in that shoe. I can like train in it and use it as like that carbon plate daily trainer, but there's no way I can like race in that shoe with like a good conscience thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna break the sub 3 marathon or run a 250 in it. It's like, it's just not possible, you know what I mean? So Vaporfly Next Percent 2, this is my shoe of choice as of right now as we're leading up to the marathon. And is there anything unusual at this point? Not really. I'm just like thinking of all the logistics leading up to the marathon. Like gotta go book flights, hotels, all that stuff. And I know a lot of people will say like, Phil, why are you slacking on this? Because we got all that stuff done like months ago before the race was even like confirmed. And fair point, you know, I got to get into that and get that kind of sorted out, see who wants to go with me to Tokyo, whether it's just some friends, family, some film crew if they want to show up, so we can make this thing like a fun vlog. We'll see. But yeah, it's just a big logistics thing right now. Get the training plan kind of slowly going, making sure I stay healthy so I don't get sick for like the third time in 2 months. Get out of this 3-month running rut that I find myself in, which kind of almost has a cure to it, but we'll kind of see. And yeah, it just we're breaking in that training program again, and hopefully by mid training block we're running 80-90 miles like I wanted to originally, and hopefully it's a good time. I don't know what more I can say at this point. Just, you know, enjoy this training block so far. I'll try to get some more content associated with it, whether it's some running visuals, some thoughts, or some critiques on some of the training in this block. But again, lots to go, lots of places to still kind of see with this training plan as to where it's going to go, and it'll be great. So I'll leave this here for now. Week 1, we'll kind of touch back at the end of this week to see how the training plan goes. If I hit the 53 miles that this week is supposed to have or not, it's going to be no, I can guarantee it. And yeah, that's where we're going to leave this. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.